Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vault IGN episode 11. Holy crap. We've done this 11 times. That's amazing.
Made it.
Yeah, we did make it.
Times.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for consuming this media in any other form, up to and including putting it on a disc, putting it in your mouth, chewing it up, and swallowing it. That's media consumption.
Delicious.
Please don't do that. It will kill you. On my left, I am joined by...
Sean Finnegan.
To his left.
I'm Brandon Graver.
Across the table.
Miranda Sanchez.
And... Oh, go ahead.
And Temmie.
And Temmie. Of course, Miranda Sanchez and Temmie.
I can see you drawing already.
It had to happen.
Undertale reference.
I'm sorry.
Number
That's all I
one.
talk about.
That's right. I'm your host, Jared, and thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to start with haikus. That's right. Last week, Miranda gave us the first 5 words of her Fallout 4 haiku. Once again, a haiku, a poem with a structure of a 5-syllable line, a 7-syllable line, another 5-syllable line. Miranda gave you guys the start. Miranda, the start was...
Curie is the best.
Curie is the best.
That's as far as I got.
All right, so what we're going to do now is go around the table reading these. Please let us know who it's from, and then read these out. These are the ones that we got over the course of the week. So you want to start here, Miranda?
Sure. From Logan Nutsman. Curie is the best. The settlement needs your help. Damn it, go to hell.
Okay, so
There's
there's
Preston. Yeah, haiku.
so there's our first bit of art here. There's going to be a kind of a common theme of frustration at some of these. From Daniel Mason. Curie is the best. Although if I had the choice, Deathclaw for the win. That guy
I
knows
appreciate
Miranda.
that. Yeah, I really
totally.
appreciate that.
Nicely done there, Daniel. What about you, Sean?
I like this one from Joshua. Curie is the best of companion followers, my only true love.
Oh,
My waifu.
Okay, that's kind of adorable.
I've forgotten how poignant haikus can be.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's just like a very rigid format.
Oh, yeah.
Poetry.
What's that?
Poetry.
Poetry indeed. Actually, yeah, my friend Jesse wrote a really good haiku once, and now, of course, I can't remember it.
I'm terrible.
Remember
at that.
most of it. He wrote one of those ones you're like, wow, that's bona fide, moving. I was really impressed.
Here's one from Matthew Queen. Curie is the best. I like when she says her name. And formidable.
I like that one. Formidable in quotes. When she says, formidable. I can't do a French accent. I cannot do it. I sound like
I just
Clouseau.
love her so much.
What's that?
I just love her so much.
Miranda,
so
what's your
cute.
next one?
We have from Samurai Bebop. Curie is the best. She is my combat medic. True gift of the vault.
Oh, there
Truly.
we go. Nice. Nicely done. True
Yeah.
gift of the... And she is a gift of the vault, isn't she? That's when you
Yeah.
encounter her in the first place. I also love this guy, Samurai Bebop, is at Cowboy Champloo.
Yeah.
Great consistency. I like that name.
That's adorable. I really like that.
Yanime.
The anime! Next up from Justin. Curie is the best. Garvey is by far the worst. McCready likes that. That's really good.
Smart.
That's clever. What do you got here?
Stephen Rick says, Curie is the best, except for Paladin Dance. No, wait, he's the worst.
Yeah.
that one might be my favorite.
He's trash.
That one's like a Paladin Dance is... I don't know. I'm about to offend
It's like just-
1/8 of our
no,
audience
just
or so
get
here,
out of
maybe. I don't know.
Who
That guy,
likes him?
I don't like him very much. I mean, he's all right. He's
Let
just,
me know if you like him and why, because there's.
Yeah.
He has an interesting twist, I guess, but it's still just kind of like...
I got some of his backstory. Like we traveled together for a little bit, and I got him to talk to me a few times about companionship and.
Did
you
you
know, where
complete
he's
some of the
from.
Brotherhood quests?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then I was like, oh, I can kind of sympathize with you, but not really because you hate Curie and you talk
I
down
hate
to
machine
her.
scum.
So get out of here.
Another one from Samantha Acuna says, Curie is the best. My favorite companion of all. She's all I need.
I agree.
Oh, there we go. And the last one here for Aaron Watts. Miranda, you want to read this final one?
Yeah. Curie is the best. Wait, is she punching that guy? I think I'm in love.
That's
First
pretty
reaction
good.
combat. Yeah.
So, Miranda, it's your haiku that you began. Thank you, everybody who sent something in. Miranda, of all of these, which one's your favorite?
It's a tough choice.
That is a tough choice because a lot of them are really great. I actually really like Aaron Watts because I was very surprised when she just started punching people.
Okay.
Curie, what are you doing?
So you think that's your
amazing, though.
favorite?
Yeah, because I think it captures something about Curie that's very surprising is that she'll just run up and start punching people. When she's like, so she seems kind of delicate in a way, and she's very careful with combat, but in her combat of choice, whenever you change out her weapon or something, is running up to them and punching them in the face. So she's going for the beatdown.
Well, let's thank Aaron here. Aaron, you are a winner, and as your prize, you're going to have to settle for, since we don't actually have a prize budget, the People's Ovation and Fame Forever. So, round of applause for Aaron, and thank you to everybody who contributed. These made me laugh out loud.
You done it.
So thank you so much. Moving on from there, ladies and gentlemen, we've now been playing Fallout for a long, long time. That's right. And I want to ask you today, as you continue to delve through the exciting world of the Fallouts and the post-apocalyptic Commonwealth, what roles you find yourself playing. We talked at the beginning of the show about the kind of characters we create, but as we play this game for a long time, sometimes we stick with what we did, but sometimes we change, particularly on replays or when we get through the game and learn it better. You sometimes find your personality altering. What kinds of characters are you playing on Fallout?
This really, I find this happens a lot in Bethesda games where if I try and be the person who is the quote-unquote Mary Sue, that I'm the best at all things, everyone loves me, I'm the leader of the Fighters Guild and the Thieves and the Assassins, and I'm also in the Brotherhood and everyone. If you try and do everything at once, you kind of get burnt out really fast because you're everything. So I find that sometimes taking on a role-playing aspect, like really sticking to a role, kind of like gives the game new life because you find yourself not going down certain routes because that's not what your character would do. Your character wouldn't be friends since and the Brotherhood of Steel because they're kind of polar opposites. So I think like the second round I wanted to do was to literally be a synth bounty hunter, like a Blade Runner type. I'm sorry, but just taking on a role, I really want to be Harrison Ford and just like sit at the Diamond City bar waiting for my next contract to go kill a synth and like.
Do you fall asleep and dream of unicorns occasionally?
Exactly, and wonder maybe I am a synth.
Ooh.
But you could either like you could join the Brotherhood of Steel and just kill every synth you see. You could join the Institute and become one of those synth recovery people and just do those and just really stick to the guns. Like if you think someone's a synth, take them down.
Do you find that kind of metagame role-playing where you're sort of creating your own narrative at that point and projecting it on the game, do you find that rewarding?
Yeah, I think especially if you truly stay to the choices you make and say, like, I will not do this, even if though it's the easy way out, I would rather do this because my character would do that, not because it's, I get a better reward. It's just like you're making those avenues, you own them, and then it becomes a better story for it, I think.
Yeah, the Fallout world is so wide open. This is one of the things that it's more welcoming to this kind of thing than most games are. If you try this in a 2D side-scrolling platformer, even the best, it's not like you can project your bounty hunter personality onto Mario, or even in a more linear RPG. But here you're afforded a lot of opportunities. What about you, Miranda?
I think that's, just to Brandon's point, I play with my companions that way. Like, what would they want? Like, with Curie, it's like, I'm not going to take her to some mission where I'm just obliterating everything, especially synths, because it's kind of weird. But I do take it, like, say, if I'm going to go to something with the Institute, it's like, she'd be really interested in this. She would want to know these science things and, more historical things. Does she want to know about these worlds? But as far as my own character, I always try to be good first, like goody two-shoes, kind of, because I just don't like hurting people if they're good. And if they just want help, I want to help them.
It's killer.
Do you feel, is it a sympathy or a pity that you feel?
A sympathy. Like, I want to help people. I think that's the right thing to do. But then as time goes on, you get a little less merciless and you can become more angry. I noticed as I got more power with Felicia, the more sassy I got with things. I think I spoke to it before on Vault. Whenever you hear raiders are like, "Come out, I'm gonna find you." It's like, "No, man, I'm gonna find you." It's like, please.
You don't want to be finding me.
Yeah, it's like you don't want any of this, please.
What about you? Are you still playing the character you started with, Sean?
Yeah, Floyd Tufts is alive and well.
Is he still the same baseball bat wielding jerk he was before?
Yeah, he's a jerk. He's real big. He's real dumb. He's real strong.
Okay.
I kind of like playing the bad guy in role-playing games, but it depends on which game. Like in Mass Effect, because it's sci-fi for some reason, it's like, and you're supposed to be this, like, the last hope of humanity. I played Shepard as like a straight up good guy. Like I tried to play him the way I imagined Master Chief to be.
Oh, okay.
And that's the only sort of game RPG where I've done that. Every other game, I feel like, like with RPGs, I feel like it's way easier and you get ahead faster when you are just terrible to everyone. And so in Fallout and in Fallout 3, I was in Fallout 4 and 3, I've been just taking advantage of everyone, killing everyone, stealing everything, all to further my own agenda. And I think that's, I don't know, I look at it as more escapism,
Yeah.
Like my life is plagued with trying to be a good person.
In reality, you consider that plaguing?
Well, I mean, it's tough, right? Like, if anyone who's tried to be a good person in the entertainment industry, it's hard, man. It's real hard. There's a lot of terrible people around.
But you can do it. You got to be that shining light.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying, though. It's a struggle, right?
Most terrible person in entertainment.
When
Marty
I play video
Sleva.
games, like, I love to be able to just, like, say, well, none of that actually matters. I can be terrible to everyone, and it
Here's a
ends up
Fallout
being
Los
fun.
Angeles.
What's that? Yeah.
I lived in LA for a long
A
time.
long time. That's right. Yeah.
Brendan, how many characters do you have?
3.
Okay.
I have
'Cause
the
I know
one.
you have the most, I think, out of all of us. Probably.
Yeah, I have the one that I started doing guides. The one I started on my own, and then another one that was going to be like just a straight up like, kind of like a synth hater, and
You're bounty hunter, dude.
yeah, my bounty hunter one.
Okay.
I wanted to make a 4th one, which is going to be.
Did you name him Deckard?
Yes.
Ah,
I did.
okay.
That was my fantasy. Especially because like that Diamond City, like, and when it rains, it's just that's literally.
Do you wait till the rain comes down and then you just sit there and
You
you
get a bowl
stare
of
off at the
noodles.
sky and you go like tears in the
tears
rain?
in the rain.
This kind of stuff.
It's great.
You know, Sean has to listen to me say this every time Blade Runner comes out, but for those who don't know, that line was improv. Holy crap, that's amazing. What a movie.
You don't have to. I mean, repeating that. Literally, I don't mind at all. It's my favorite. That scene is my favorite scene in all of movie history.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll talk Blade. Let's just make this the world's #1 Blade Runner podcast for a
too.
moment. Have you seen Blade Runner?
I've seen parts of it.
Okay,
I think
I
I saw
wonder-
the end and some chunks on TNT.
Okay.
One of those
It's
things.
worth watching all the way through.
It
Yeah.
really is.
There's a 4th one I want to make. I was looking at like the perk lists, and you can kind of tie your role playing around like the perks as well. So I really wanted to make a Fallout ghoul, where you go all endurance so that you're ghoulified and ghouls like you, and you just spend the whole game just being a ghoul.
Oh, that sounds
And you
great.
look ugly.
See, that's one of the things that I would really like to see more RPGs do. Is I love the idea of designing a world and a game where it's systemic and you can kind of play it the way you want to play it. And
Yeah.
Fallout does allow you to do that, but what it doesn't really allow you to do is reward you for making the choices you would if you were a particular type of character. Like, my big dumb brawler dude probably doesn't end up in the exact same spot as your guy, but by and large, the experience that we both have in Fallout, your synth hunter guy, as far as story beats go and characters, is kind of the same.
Yeah,
you
you kind of have to make your own story,
Right.
Or get shoehorned into their overarching narrative.
Right, like Mass Effect did a pretty good job up until 3, in which the ending was the same no matter what you did in the prior 3 games. And that was kind of a big bummer. But up until that point, it did a really good job of distinguishing different plot events and character events that happened if you played Paragon versus Renegade. And I would just love to see that more. Because yeah, it'd be really cool to see how much different your gameplay ended up being by being like that sort of synth bounty hunter versus my big dumb brawler who ended up just like trying to conquer the wasteland.
Have you guys ever read Austin Gross? I believe it's Austin Grossman, if I got this name right. Austin Grossman's book, You. So that's a really neat novel. It occasionally overindulges in self-pity, but it's about a software development company. It's a fantasy novel, though you don't know that from the beginning. But the games they make are what Sean's describing, a truly systemic, the most systemic of all role-playing games, where you define your own fate. But you got to read this. It's if nothing else, it's great video game fantasy. You're like, I want that to exist, and I want to play it. It's really good, and it kind of turns into a sci-fi novel.
Undertale has used some of that, so you know.
Undertale?
What?
All right. World's #1 Undertale podcast.
How many
reference number
minutes
2.
can we go without Miranda mentioning Undertale?
I got the timer right here.
But Jared, we didn't get to hear about your character.
No, I play. So I really at this point am playing one character that's branched out on 2 save paths.
Okay.
It's the same
That's
character.
also a good tactic.
Yeah, one of them is one of those save paths is my classical nice guy character who's playing honestly a fairly paladinish run through the game, trying to make moral decisions in a difficult situation, which I enjoy because Fallout's continually forcing me to make hard moral decisions. Although I'm not particularly merciful, my solution to Covenant was decisive and bloody and executioner style. Yeah, I took her head clean off, but. That's my main play, and then my other I think of in my head as Corruptor, Corruptor is made entirely of cheats, cheats on top of cheats on top of cheats that just
That's
keep
my first
cheating.
character, pretty much.
Yeah, and Corruptor just wanders around like Skeletor at the end of the Masters of the Universe movie, going, "I am a god!" And
Kill all.
just kind of wanders around experimenting with the world to see what you can get away with if you game the system. So that's how I play. One character
Do you
playing
normally
straight.
do that in RPGs?
Yes, except I don't usually cheat, but I will make a boundary stretching character. If I can find a way to push against the walls of a world, I like to think. You ever see the Truman Show?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end when he finds the wall and bangs up against it in the boat, and he's
Well,
kind of
first he runs into it.
Yeah, right. He runs into it, then he's
Pokes
banging
a
on
hole
it.
in it.
That's me playing a video game. That's what I do. At first, I play it for fun, and then I try to break it.
Have you gone back and watched the Truman Show recently?
Yes, I
Like,
have.
there's no way that would have worked.
What
Just the idea, the conceit of
No,
being
it
able to
wouldn't have
build
worked.
a life. Like back then, though, you were like, "Wow, they have cameras everywhere."
They
like,
kidnapped a baby. It was never going to happen.
This could totally work. But the idea of like growing up in like a farcical world that was like constructed for you, like when that movie came out, I was like, you could totally do that if you had cameras everywhere and put them in the right spots. But now I'm like, there's just no way.
That's real life right now. What are you talking about? That's
We're in-
every day.
we're
Hey,
in
Mom,
this
I'm on the
bubble.
internet.
Yeah,
It
we're
says,
living in
my
that.
my whole life is a lie. What's
Yeah.
up with that?
Yeah.
There's cameras
People
all
are-
around us.
people
All
are
our mail is
tweeting at me.
red. Yeah.
There's a Twitter account that has 1 million followers of me.
There's also a magical Ed Harris in the sky. His name is Christoph, and
Yeah.
he's telling us what to do, and he's wearing a beret. So,
Yeah.
all that's good. All right, on to the next topic here. Let's talk about what's in the box. Ladies and gentlemen, Fallout swag or Gwyneth Paltrow's head? Let's find out. All right. Dun,
Spoiler?
dun.
For those of you who may have missed it, we had a holiday special where we talked about what we wanted for Christmas as a fun kind of thing, and we talked about out of the Fallout universe, what would be a nice gift to get.
Yeah.
And what was yours? Do you remember, Jared?
What did I say?
Yeah.
No, I completely forgot.
You forgot.
I
So
said the 9-foot-tall Fallout Boy statue.
I think
Not Fallout Boy the band.
I think of everyone's. I had
I remember that.
the most
Vault Boy.
feasible, yet to me I could not grasp it, which was the Nuka Cola Jones soda that was being sold at Target, and they were all sold out everywhere. Little to my knowledge, someone else on the internet happened to get some. His name is Brad Whiteside, and he tweeted me saying, "Hey, I have an extra one if you want one."
No way.
And Christmas came true.
Fine.
And here it is. And he even gave me a Christmas card. Merry Christmas with a little Vault Boy and Santa and a happy nuclear fallout. On the back it says, "To Brendan Graber from Brad Whiteside, a.k.a. at Holy Shadows." Follow him on Twitter, please. "Enjoy your apocalypse. P.S. One to keep and one to try."
Oh,
Sweet.
look at there. Bring him out. Let's see
So
him.
nice.
Let's see 'em.
I looked for
This-
so long for
This
these
is my
two.
first fan mail interaction. I never thought I was cool enough to actually have people who follow me and like what I do. So to me, this is thank you, Brad Whiteside. This is amazing. Look
Whoa.
at this.
Wow.
And I
look
did
at
say
that.
that if I got this, I would literally rub it in Jared's face. So if you excuse
All right,
me,
he's walking over here to rub it.
Oh,
Here we
man.
go. You
Yeah,
ready
I
to rub it?
seriously checked every time at my Target.
Oh, it feels like
If
love.
you're not watching the video, tune into the video.
Yeah.
well, yeah, watch
None
the
of this
video.
So
makes
good.
sense to
Watch
the
the video and you
listeners.
can
Feels
see.
like love and
I
neutrons.
just rubbed it in his face, literally.
All right.
So
That
thank
is
you
very
cool.
so much,
colorful.
Brad Whiteside. This
It is
is
colorful.
It's an
very
amazing
blue.
gift. I will keep one on my desk for all time, and perhaps after this we can share a drink. I'll pour one for each of you.
All
We can all
right.
have a sip of it.
This is very exciting. Thank you so much for sharing this. So that leads us into the topic, guys.
Okay.
Look at that. What is what do you think about ye old Fallout swag? What are you seeing that's out there that
I love
just
it now.
catches your eye? What's that?
I love it now.
You love it now. All right. We got this little bomb here on our table. Inside that, in addition to serving as a nifty hat, as I've shown before, it also contains several Fallout games, including, most ludicrously, I love this. This didn't come with Fallout 4. It came with a case to put your Fallout 4 disc in once you got it. Yeah, that's just
Not
hilarious.
yours. Can't
But
have.
when it comes to the magical world of swag out there, guys, what products exist that have really caught your eye? Things are just like, I covet that.
So what are we defining as swag, though?
Okay, I'm defining a Fallout 4 official or unofficial branded product that has caught your eye.
Okay.
There's been some high and lows I've seen. When it first got announced, everybody was flipping their stuff about the Pip-Boy. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, there's an actual Pip-Boy I can
Except
have."
for one person.
Oh,
Also-
were you on
Except for the
the?
one
Were
guy
you
who
an
saw it.
early negative Pip-Boyer?
I mean, the only thing that you could sell me as a peripheral for my phone is a case. Like I hate that kind of stuff.
I
And so
thought it was really cool, but I knew immediately that it would not fit my arm because I have super small wrists. I can't even wear like adult watches usually unless they're extra small.
And
So
yeah,
I
as
have
a
kids'
concept, it
watches.
was really cool. And then we
Aw.
got it in the office, and we had this.
wait, what is
these-
cool about the concept to you? I'm still on
It's
the
a Pip-Boy. On
not a
your arm.
real one though.
Okay, but it's the closest thing we have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'd
I
rather
don't
just
mind
like
putting my phone in it. It's kind of fun.
It was
It's like
cool.
make believe.
Then we got it in the office.
Sean.
yeah, you can't get me
along,
to.
okay?
I know.
I just like to imagine like a vault dweller sitting there like Candy Crush, just bloop.
We did some videos of like the vault experiments, and then I got cast to be in a role in them, so I got to put it on for the skit, and I'm just like, all these buttons are all falling off and making clack 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 noises.
Yeah,
and
like that was my thing. Is that the moment I look at something like that, I'm like, okay, that's a cool idea because I have a conception of what what a Pip-Boy would actually be like, and I know just the moment I pick it up, it's gonna be so much plastic and it's
Yeah.
not gonna have much functionality. Like, guess what? If you could. The Pip-Boy, in my mind, if I was designing a Pip-Boy, it wouldn't even do anything except for one thing: play the radio.
Oh,
That's what it would do.
It would
And
just
be
be
made-
a receiver, like a
Yeah, it would just be made of. It would be made of metal, though. Like it would be,
It's
you
too
know,
heavy though.
it's not supposed to be light. It's a giant piece
I
of
mean-
metal on your arm. Like, I'm more about the realism and making it like what I would imagine it to be in real life. type
Okay.
What if
thing.
you could like
See-
attach like monitors to like your wrists, and they would tell you your heartbeat? You could inject stim packs right into
Yeah,
your
or better
veins?
yet, it's like it's like a really big Apple smartwatch in a really just industrial designed metal case.
I really
and
kind of
plays
hope
the
that's what
radio.
Apple releases next. That'll be the next
Pip-Boy.
conference. Just like the eye gauntlet.
the Apple
You know.
Pip.
Yeah. So what? Okay. So you liked the Pip-Boy originally when you saw it. What about you, Sean?
I'm just a big. I've said this before, but I'm a big statues guy, and
Yeah.
I don't mean like action figures. I don't
Yeah.
like points of articulation, but I admire the artistry and the craftsmanship that goes into a really nice statue that doesn't move, right?
Okay.
And particularly relevant to Fallout are the bobbleheads, right?
Okay.
Which have been made into statues, and I own a bunch of them, and they're sitting on my shelf at home, and I love those. So to me, like that's the best thing about it because you can look at it. And it's not only like a well-made, awesome thing that's indicative of the design of Fallout in terms of an artistic standpoint, but it's also like something from the actual game. So to me, there is no better swag than that. It is.
What do you
like-
think about the Funko Pop ones? Because they're technically statue-esque.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, Funko Pop things are cool.
Right.
I
Some,
felt
some
like-
of the designs are good, but some of them are not.
Yeah,
Well, what I like about them
ideal.
is like, yeah, you're right. Some of the designs are lacking, but what I like about them is that they're a collectible thing. Like they share a similar artistic style for a wide breadth of characters, and you can collect like 100 of them, and they're all kind of
Yeah, I just
even
don't
if one's
think-
not that cool, it's part of the collection, which
Yeah.
is cool. You know?
They do kind of stand out, like not in a good way. Like I think they have like a super mutant and like a ghoul, and they just don't look that great, like compared
So
to
this
some
is-
of the vinyls that actually look like people.
This is interesting. So you like the Pip-Boy, didn't like it. You like the Funko Pops, didn't like it. We've had, it's you see how the marketing works. They're looking for different people for different things. Miranda, what about you?
So I have things I do and don't like. I'll start with what I don't like.
Yeah.
There's a really, I'm sorry for anybody who purchased it and you like it, that's totally fine, but I think it's super ugly, is there's a handbag and clutch set, and it has the just like Vault Boy with a thumbs up,
Okay.
and it's just like atrocious because it's in the blue and yellow color scheme, but it's like a blue with pattern of Vault Boy just in different costumes in the background.
I don't know
and
if
then
you're a
with
San Diego
really
Chargers
bad-
fan, it could look pretty cool.
It just looks,
but-
it looks like something you give to like a kid.
right.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't
Blue
look
and
like
yellow's
something
good for,
a young woman would
a
use.
jumpsuit, but not much else.
Yeah, it's really, it does not look good.
just didn't do it for you, huh?
It's
Are
like
you
$50
looking
Is it
at
the
photos
color
of it right
scheme?
there?
Yeah,
Can I see?
yeah, it's $50 too. I mean, it just doesn't look good. Like the design of the bag, like the shape is just gross. It looks
This is
like
it.
that's the clutch thing that comes with it, but the bag is like the top thing. It almost looks like a bowling bag in a weird way.
Yeah, actually,
Who
you're
does
kind of
that?
you're
Like a
kind of
bowling
making me like this more and more as you describe it. I'm like, what's the problem? This sounds
I mean, like,
perfect.
But look at it though; it's real ugly.
It's
What's that?
not
Jared's
a
got
good
a whole new
shape.
bag.
I mean,
Are you kidding? I'm putting my lunch in that tomorrow. That's great.
see, like maybe, but it's supposed to be a purse. Like I don't.
You know what? It'll fit
I'm
right
digging
in
it.
with my Hasune Miku handbag I'm bringing in tomorrow. So
Okay,
it,
I can
speaking
dig
of,
a Miku handbag.
yeah, I just got one. I'm so
Ooh.
happy. Yeah, I totally bought myself a man purse.
Wow.
That's
I
fine.
was going to put my laptop in it, but my laptop doesn't fit in it, but I'm still going to
Oh.
carry it because it's got Hasune Miku on it.
But
So
yeah,
cute.
this just looks like something you get for like a 12-year-old. Like I would have used this when I was 10.
Okay, so you don't like that.
So-
What do you like? Because we're talking about best Fallout swag.
So they actually have really, really, really awesome clothes. I've noticed between Bethesda and BioWare, they've also just done really good with fashion.
Okay.
There's a really awesome Vault-Tec cardigan. Just has it's very subtle that it's Fallout. It has the Vault-Tec logo on the back. It's just
like
a really
those
nice
ones.
gray
That's cool.
cardigan, and it just looks great.
I don't think I've seen this.
Even
That's really
the
cool.
Vault 111 sweater looks good too. It's just it's the bright blue, but
Mm-hmm.
with the yellow, but it looks like
Is it
classy.
primarily the bright blue with like a yellow
Yeah,
accent? Is that
yeah.
what they go with? Okay, so it's not nearly as like. So is it the chintziness of the other one that you just find too overt?
It's just like the shape of the bag, just the design, just isn't.
Oh,
It's just
okay, I was
not
wondering
there.
about
It
that.
just looks like it's made for like an adolescence. It's
As
fine,
someone
but-
who's through the years worn some pretty obnoxious video game themed apparel,
Mm-hmm.
I have come to admire the subtle ones. Like
Yeah, for sure.
The ones that are just like a really tiny logo somewhere, or just like a design that people might not understand, but you get it, and that's enough. That then you go
That's-
like giant Triforce and a huge wing here and a shield on your back, and like that's a little too much for me.
I
now.
don't know what you're talking about, Brennan. I don't like Star Wars at all.
I mean, I think there's a good balance of both, but
Yeah.
just seeing more
I don't know. I look like Darth
fashionable
Vader
things
threw up
too,
all
it
over my
just-
T-shirt.
It just feels nicer because I can still support what I love, but have it look nice, and I can wear it without feeling like
People are going to
super,
point at you and laugh.
Yeah.
What I want doesn't exist yet still, and it probably never will, because there's just no universe in which these two things become congruent. But I want a Vault Boy amiibo so badly. That will never occur.
You probably make one.
But a Vault,
Someone's
yeah.
probably
Not
3D
impossible,
printed it.
But just the
somewhere.
thought of like
We
bringing
just saw a Shovel Knight one.
Bringing
that's
him-
a different circumstance, but still.
Can you imagine him? All the perk illustrations are
That would
all
be really
him doing
funny.
interesting little things in Smash Brothers. Can you imagine if those were all moves, taunts? How just adorable!
Yeah, it would be amazing.
That
Smash
would be.
Bros. 5. Let's hope
Yeah,
for it.
this,
you mentioned putting stuff in lunchbox. Do they have a Vault-Tec lunchbox you can buy? Because I would.
I think you can. Yeah, I've seen those.
It's a really cool design, and it's very classic, and I think that's a really cool thing to have.
I like that idea too. Actually, that's really good. I haven't seen those. So moving on to the next little bit, let's talk for a second about a divisive topic in the Fallout community: Radiant quests. First off, what's a Radiant quest, guys?
It's basically they came out with it in Skyrim, where some of the smaller side quests, instead of having very specific points and objectives, they would substitute that for go to X and defeat Y. And X was usually a place you haven't discovered in the game yet. So it was kind of their way of saying, hey, we noticed you haven't explored this place over here. So old Graythar, the Valiant, wants you to go to this place you haven't been to and just wipe the dungeon clear. And that way you'll be getting experience, you'll find a new place, and you'll be doing this quest for extra money and whatever. And this has gone on from Skyrim and now to Fallout.
Okay.
In different ways.
So
Yeah.
we have this structure. We understand what it is now, all of us. Good and bad. What are the virtues of this, and what are the liabilities?
Well, obviously you get more money experience, and so it's just keep generating it. So it's like always a way for you to get it. If you want something more directed, it's like, hey, here's guaranteed money and experience.
Because wandering the wasteland and killing guys is not really the most efficient way to
Sure.
get things. Radiant quests tend to have XP rewards associated with them. There tend to be financial rewards that are going to be more significant than just killing a bunch of random mooks. What else?
I suppose a con could be the game is designed with the idea that you can go anywhere and do anything at your own leisure and play it the way you want to play. I feel like players may feel like they're being coerced to do these things when they may not want to because of the, rewards. That could be a negative. I don't see why that would be in my head, though.
Okay. Other
Yeah.
positives, negatives.
There's a good positive for showing off their talent and level design by making you actively find places you may have missed. Sometimes these places could be either hidden or out of the way, or just like not appearing on your map for whatever reason. So being able to find them and go, oh, I didn't know about that place. That's cool. While I'm here, I might as well go explore and see what's going on. But I felt the main drawback, which wasn't as prevalent in Skyrim as I see it being in Fallout 4, was that it kind of starts to creep into the quest narrative,
Okay.
and that Fallout 4 has some pretty good side quests and faction quests, like finding Curie in the vault, or the main quest line with Nick Valentine, or just like you can take your pick. But then when some of these Radiant quests start coming in, especially in factions, it kind of feels like they took the day off from going like, we could have a really cool quest to do some really thing for the Brotherhood. Or we can just say, hey, why don't you go explore X and Y, which you have in each faction, whether it's the Institute or the Railroad or the Minutemen, especially the Minutemen, because pretty much all of the Minutemen quests except for the castle are, another settlement needs your help. Better go help them. You go there, my brother was kidnapped at a place that I can't tell you because it's randomized. Go do that, please.
Yeah, I spoke with somebody earlier this week who was telling me that they become very frustrated with Fallout because they didn't realize they were doing Radiant quests. They didn't want to do Radiant quests. They went through an entire cycle of Radiant quests.
Oh, that's a lot.
And had no idea. They thought they were working toward an ultimate goal and weren't. And that really was frustrating for them. So I ask you guys these thoughts, this ups and downs aside, would you like to see Radiant quests in the next Fallout game? What's your vote?
Sure.
Yeah?
I
would say it would need to take a back seat, or at least very explicitly letting you know that you're taking a Radiant quest and not like a main quest. And I really don't think they should have any place in main factions. Maybe like just like one or two, but I think like those are better served for like Diamond City or Good Neighbor or like a smaller like settlement.
Okay.
Or like once you liberate a settlement and restructure it, having your settlement go, hey, I could use some help with X, that would actually give your settlements a little more like, livelihood to them without having to structure these entire narratives of going like, okay, how could this be an interesting quest? Like save those for the main factions to make them more appealing and have the explore X and Y and Z to your side stuff.
Miranda, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with what you said because it just, I feel like there are too many of those for the factions. I was like, oh, this is just, here's like 2, oh, here's 3, that's just repeating. It's like, well, where's the core of the faction? Like, what do you need from me? What can I do to help? That's not just, oh, we'll go collect some blood samples. Keep bringing them back to me.
And it puts
go on this.
It puts a lot of stress on the level designers too, because you're saying, you're basically giving them going like, okay, we don't have any narrative. It's all you level design.
Make it Radiant compatible.
Make it look really cool. And so if you're not going into this location that has like these really cool side stuff and terminal stuff, you're just gonna be like, why am I even here?
Yeah, I concur with you guys. I really want a marker telling me when I'm playing Radiant Quest, and I want the ability to only accept Radiant Quests after I've cleared out everything else in an area. I mean, I could take them before if I want, but I need to know, hey, look, I could do something else
I just think there should be fewer.
Yep.
There's too many right now.
Fewer and distinctively marked. I think that's where I fall too on it. All right. For our next little bit, I don't know if you guys know this, if you listen to the show frequently, if you watch the show frequently. By the way, if you do, or if this is your first time, in both cases, welcome and thank you. But we like to talk about Undertale in here sometimes.
Undertale!
And so one of the things that Undertale offers, being another RPG coming out around the same time as Fallout, is something called a Pacifist run. The ability to go through the game without fighting and killing anybody. Without killing anybody. Let's put it that way. Fighting would be the wrong way to put it.
Still encounters, yeah.
And you have encounters where you're being non-lethal. And Brendan and I were talking the other day, and he raised an interesting point. Fallout, despite the fact that you have a lot of freedom over how you play, still eventually forces you into crucibles of violence. You have to kill or get really, really inventive. Talk about this for a second, the thing you saw.
There was actually, I think right before the holidays, a couple news outlets reported on a guy who beat Fallout without directly killing anything. And that's quite an endeavor because you have to go through some violent situations. So his playthrough was basically getting people to shoot things for him, or indirectly, or maybe in escaping combat, but he didn't exactly point a trigger and kill us when at point blank range.
Yeah.
It was always like, hey, companion, do that for, or hey, Minutemen, go do that.
Or just lead a line of rad scorpions into somebody's house.
Do that. But yeah, so he kind of hacked
He gamed the system.
Yeah, he gamed the system a little bit, but there is no way to go like, hey guys, what if we talk it out? There's a couple situations in the game. The ending of the vault from Nick Valentine, where you get him from, there's an encounter with a guy who wants to kill you, and you can talk your way out of that one. But like other people, for example, Mr. Captain Crunch, or Kellogg, not so much the talking type.
No, not so much. So the question for you guys: would you like to see this as a feature in a new Fallout? Do you like the thought of being able to play through the entire game without taking a life, playing through as as far as I know? Nobody in this room has ever killed anybody. If you have, I apologize. because it does happen.
To who?
Yeah, good point.
To the fallen.
Yeah, to the
I
fallen.
crushed
And
before me.
if I just raised an unpleasant memory of that time you had to shoot that one guy. Anyway, of the four of us here, none of us ever killed anybody. Most people never do.
Don't
do you-
kill anybody.
Do you want to play a game that way or not?
I think it would be cool to see that as like an option. I don't think that every game needs that, right? Like
Sure.
if the designers think that it's a game that violence is part of the mechanic or it's a shooter or something, I don't see how you can design your way around it, right? But Fallout is one of those games where it's like, especially in prior Fallouts, it used to be more like character and dialogue focused than combat focused anyway.
Yeah.
And so it kind of has a legacy of allowing or affording players the option to kind of talk your way out of things, and it can be fun, right?
That famous ending to Fallout 1. I
Right.
mean, you know, where if you haven't played Fallout 1, cover your ears for 30 seconds, but you could talk the final boss you could talk him to death.
Yeah.
It's amazing. All
You
right.
can even do that to a point in the Mass Effect, the first boss. You can go like,
Yeah, you
go
can.
like, hey, how about you shoot yourself? Could you do that?
Forgot about that.
That's the thing is, I thought one of the most compelling things about the first Mass Effect is there's this section where you can try and talk Saren down.
Yeah.
Like in a very climactic moment, right?
Yeah.
And that is so cool. This is a guy you've been hunting the whole time, and then you're finally at this point where it's like it's just you and him, finally face to face,
Yep.
no one else involved, and it's like you have the option if you're high enough Paragon or high enough Renegade, you have those dialogue options available to you, and they may work, they may not, and they've done that before in prior Fallouts. Like if
Yeah,
your
New
speech,
Vegas.
No.
or charisma is high enough, you can convince them of options that wouldn't have been available to other players who may or may not have achieved those things with their character yet. That's super cool.
It is. So there's a moment in The Witcher 2 that's like that,
Yeah.
where at the most unexpected second, it's one of my favorite sequences in a video game.
Right. So I love the idea of making that an option to players, but I would never. I think it'd be foolish to say a blanket statement. Do all
Right.
RPGs need that?
No, but
because
does
it's up to
Fallout
the
need that?
designers?
I think
yeah.
there should be pacifist moments when there's times that the world's tearing itself apart, and you don't necessarily have to be the person who saves it all. Like, why do you have to intervene in this part? Like, why do you have to pick a side? What if you just choose not to?
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be a more unique thing to Fallout, and
Yeah.
would make sense story-wise. Because there's a point in the game where I was just like, I don't want to do any of this.
Yeah.
Why do I have to choose? It doesn't make sense with what my character wants or what they're doing or what I've been aiming for the entire time. I guess I have to do this thing.
But a
And so-
narrative arc that allowed you to walk away from that and have a conclusion and maybe pay a real penalty possibly.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, you should
yeah.
be penalized for not choosing or.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Deus Ex has handled some of the nonviolent stuff very interestingly.
Yeah, and
Metal
they-
Gear has nonviolent modes. You look at even Mark of the Ninja did things like that, but giving you like a really satisfying and challenging moral conundrum there, where you can choose to accept big consequences.
Especially, I was almost kind of surprised because with the inclusion of having a voice actor, there was a setup for having some really compelling arguments. Like if you look at Deus Ex, like Human Revolution,
Yeah.
like Adam Jensen, when you get into these like Battle of Minds, you have some really like climactic and dynamic arguments
Yep.
where you have to go like, okay, should I press him on this point or should I get him on this point? And then like out of that choice, he spins these really compelling arguments, and then they have these really big payoffs or really bad payoffs if you do choose the wrong thing. So having a voice actor, there could have been some really cool moments where you could have had like a battle of words with somebody.
So, not nitpicking, but thinking about what to look forward to in the future. I like this idea. Give us another path. Yes, I understand it's more work, and you guys already did great work. But the chance to walk away from the two different options we were kind of handed to maybe look at something. And I like the idea that maybe that doesn't end well for you. I absolutely adore when games allow you to go down swinging for what you believe. That's
just,
often
like punish you for it, and
Yeah.
that's fair. That's
yeah.
totally fair.
One of the Phantasy Star games does that really well. Where you're just like, wow, I'm doing a good thing, and now we're all going to die. You know,
Let's
and
all be friends. No,
yeah,
Pam.
Alamo, that stuff. Exactly. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached that critical juncture in the show, the total diversion.
Oh no.
That's
Yay!
right. Or is it a digression? We don't know what the section's called, but whatever it may be, I ask you now to make a very important decision. Undertale or Earthbound?
Undertale.
And I'm talking about the series, Mother 1, 2, and 3. One of these things can exist in the universe, and the other cannot.
Undertale. So the cool thing
So-
is I haven't played any of the Earthbound, so I can
Really?
say Undertale.
You haven't played
I can
Earthbound?
just say Undertale. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played Earthbound either.
You haven't played Earthbound
What was
either?
it out on?
You're
I
told the
forget,
diversion
old.
backfires
It
on
did
you.
backfire.
What was it? What was
Isn't
the?
it NES?
The original was released, just re-released, but it was a
Right.
Famicom game. Mother 2, which is Earthbound, was a Super Nintendo game, and Mother 3 has never been officially released in
Okay,
the
so
West.
I was a Sega Genesis kid,
Yeah.
so
Did you do what Nintendo didn't?
yeah.
Okay, just wondering. All right, there
Probably
we go.
too young for those commercials.
Wow,
No,
she
no.
is.
Actually, I have no idea.
Oh, Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Oh,
That was the
That's
TV
what we were
commercial
informed.
that they used.
Yeah, I just
to
remember
market
I
it.
was like a little baby, sat on my dad's lap. He played the football. I guess it's Madden. It was like original Madden or something.
Okay, so
Yeah, anyway, that's baby.
especially after playing Undertale, you want to go back.
Yeah,
and
I
play
do.
Earthbound.
I'm excited that they're re-releasing a whole bunch of them. I think
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
Earthbound's a weird, and you ought to play Mother 3, although you can't play Mother 3, but I've heard that there are ways you can play Mother 3.
The world is weird like that.
Maybe
Man.
the internet holds
of
the answers.
all the so Undertale and Mother 3, I think, have more in common than Undertale and Earthbound, honestly. And
Yeah.
You really need to check that
I
out.
thought
Mother 3
is
is
coming out soon though.
Is it finally coming out? I don't know. Is that official? All right, I didn't know.
I don't.
I don't think
If
it
only
is
there
yet.
was
If it
a
did,
website
yeah,
that
then
had-
we
Ask
could
your
have that
father.
information.
That was the other one, the
All
other
right.
Earthbound.
Go ask your
thing
father. Very
that-
good. Go ask your father.
No, I
Very
was
good.
thinking of the other Earthbound thing. You think that
Yeah,
was coming out?
that was another thing. That was for Earthbound 1 came out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
is Mother
I was
1.
like,
Okay.
what? It's something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so
I
I
was a
asked the
baby.
wrong total diversion question here. Sean, what about you?
I, like Miranda, have not played Earthbound, nor have I played Undertale.
Oh my god.
But I'm going to choose Earthbound because I love Ness and Lucas in Smash Brothers. Those are my mains.
That's right, I've seen them.
So one vote for Undertale, one vote for Earthbound. Brennan, you have played Earthbound.
I have, yeah, and I've also played Undertale. So
Right.
It's a hard one because, if you want to get into the nitty gritty, you wouldn't have Undertale if you didn't have Earthbound because of what it brought to the table. However, in terms of what gave me the most feelings, I think, was Undertale. It had a story that connected with me more
Yeah.
than Earthbound's. Not to besmirch Ness and Lucas and all of their adventures, but I do feel like the charm in Undertale is just far and away one of the greatest things I've seen. In a
Did
long
you
time.
play Mother 3?
No.
Okay, that again, Undertale and Mother 3 seem to me to be cut from the same cloth in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
that's why I think you can't have one without the other.
But
Mother 3 was confirmed for Japan.
yeah, for yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it was.
yeah, Japanese Virtual Console.
I was like-
Okay,
I was like, I
if
saw
Mother
something.
3 is officially coming to the West and I haven't heard about it, I'm going
fine,
to
we'll
die.
see. We're in Japanese,
Okay,
it's fine,
yeah.
it's fine.
Well, no, there's a real problem there. That's a whole long story, though. All right. That said, so I asked the wrong question there, but we got one vote for Undertale, one vote for Earthbound, another vote for Undertale. And you know what, guys? I'm going to come down on the Undertale side because as much as I love the Earthbound games,
It's a hard choice.
in particular, the brilliant storytelling in Mother 3, which does things that are challenging. And when you consider when it was made in particular, ridiculously challenging for the player in terms of story. Very brave game. Undertale is the next step in that evolution and does many more new things, and I just love it so much. So, Undertale,
play it.
indeed. But I brought it back up in case nobody knew about that. So, Dragon Ball versus Power Rangers.
Ooh.
That's
Wait,
easy.
Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
Z. Dragon Ball Z versus Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Why Power Rangers,
No.
Miranda?
I wasn't
DBZ.
allowed to watch Dragon Ball when I was a kid.
Really?
You weren't? Why
yeah,
was
because
that?
I was really little, and my mom was just like, "No, you can watch Sailor Moon, but not Dragon Ball because it's too violent.
I was-
Because you just scream all the time."
Sailor Moon.
Oh,
was
they thought you were
just
going to walk around the house and
violent.
go,
I have no idea, but
Sailor Moon was just as violent.
yeah, but they didn't scream quite as
I would
much.
say
as
No,
that.
they just
them are
got
very
they just did
non-violent.
this really weird transformation scenes that
no, that's
were
not,
questionable.
It's not
as a-
violent.
No, it was just questionable content to a kid.
Why? Being naked is not bad.
My parents, it was.
Who's
But
naked
you
and
can
what?
transform. You don't see any details. They're ribbons.
Am I?
Oh,
Anyway.
I've never seen Sailor Moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
I-
like,
have some
what
homework
are
to do.
you talking about?
in college, we used to do what we call Dragon Ball Z bowling. We go to the bowling alley, and it was just like real bowling, except that you got extra points for posing and yelling before you bowled.
Nice.
So you'd have to be like, ah! and then you ran up and bowled.
Did your whole bowling squad do the Ginyu poses?
We would do poses. We did do our hair up
jeez.
sometimes. Yeah. It was,
Yeah, I found out
hair
that
back then.
when I was 8 years old that if you aimed a camera at the mirror and took a photo with the flash in your hands, it looked like there was light coming from your hands. And so I posed a whole bunch of photos with me like shooting Kamehamehas everywhere.
That's rad.
That's what I did
That's
when I was a
cute.
kid.
Oh my gosh.
For me, it has to be DBZ. I'm a big Power Rangers guy. Season 1, the very first one.
Yeah.
And I guess part of season 2, I don't remember the exact timeline, but like, doesn't the Green Ranger not appear until season 2?
Yeah, he didn't show up till. Yeah,
Someone told me
later.
that recently.
somebody
like
go
Tim
ask.
Geddes.
Somebody go ask Frank. He'll know.
Yeah,
sure Tim
or
Geddes
yeah,
would
or
be-
Tim Geddes. Someone told me that was the case, and I remember seeing like the
don't-
transition to the Green Ranger and into the White Ranger. So I must have seen season 2 as well. But basically, just those first 2 seasons of Power Rangers. I loved them as a kid, but really, the reason I choose DBZ is it boils down to one moment, and that is Goku versus Vegeta. Like that final
the eternal.
the Kamehameha versus the Final Flash,
Yeah.
or the Galagun. I can't remember which one it is now, but just like that epic showdown is what that whole show is based on, and it's so epic. I remember however old I was, 7 or 8, like my heart jumping into my mouth while watching that. It was
And
like
then
a
right
very huge
as the
moment.
final blow hits, tune in next time
Yeah,
on
exactly.
Dragon Ball Z.
See, when I was a kid, though, like I had nothing to do but watch DBZ. So those 9 episodes it took Goku to power up to get to that point, like I don't remember them as 9 episodes. Like I remember it going real fast.
See, this is
we've got one vote for Power Rangers, one for Dragon Ball. Brenda, looks like you're the tiebreaker again.
yeah, it's hard because when I was a littler kid, Power Rangers was my life, and I really admired it. I really loved the thing. Then when middle school came around, and I had to race home to get there by 3:30 when Dragon Ball Z showed up on Toonami. That was my jam. Every day it was that same block, and it was like, man, they're finally gonna get to Namek, and oh man, it's back in the rat. It's like, okay, well, hopefully the next cycle. And just like being able to talk to my friends and go like, oh man, what's gonna happen next episode? And like seeing the evolution when they finally released the new episodes, and like he said, like you didn't mind that half of it was just powering up because it was so action packed and like you
Yeah.
were so excited. It was just one whole thrill ride. And to my great surprise, when I met my wife while working in Carmel, and I met her her sister and her brother. Her brother is starting high school now, and so I'm like, oh, I hope I have something to talk to him about. Imagine my surprise when I found out he loves Dragon Ball Z.
There you go.
And he
Most
comes from a
people
very
love it.
religious household where they're just now kind of going, okay, I guess you can watch that. And like seeing him go like, I want the action figures, and like his dad got him the Trunks' sword.
Dude.
That's probably my fault because I have swords and it probably bled off onto him. I apologize. I'm not really sorry. But like he also cut off half of a mop handle and to form like the staff.
Oh
with
my
the
gosh.
sheath in it. I'm just like, he gets me. This
guy
continues
gets
on.
So this actually affected like your married life. I mean, this brought domestic joy unto your
Yes.
house. You unto the 10th generation
Because
with the DBZ.
we
All
came
right.
from very different backgrounds, but if there's one thing we can bond over, it's Dragon Ball Z.
Folks, the correct answer for all of you children, because I'm way older than all of you, is DuckTales.
I love DuckTales.
So
Was that an option?
yeah, that's a secret option C.
Might
DuckTales.
solve a mystery
Or rewrite history.
Was that
DuckTales.
Darkwing Duck? What else was part of that block?
Disney
that I used to
Afternoon,
watch? Yeah.
Gummy Bears, Disney Afternoon. Let's see, Chippendales Rescue Rangers,
Rangers.
Tailspin,
Oh, yeah, Rescue Rangers.
Tailspin.
I had a crush on Gadget. when
Yeah,
I was a kid. That's her
okay.
name, right?
Yeah, Gadget.
yeah, I heard
That
somebody.
was before like furries existed. That wasn't. I'm not a furry.
That was when you was at your private thing. And no
There,
one else.
there are
was when
theories
I was,
out
like,
there that
5.
blame
You just had kid
Gadget for
crushes.
freedom. Like
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Dude, who wouldn't have a crush on Gadget? She's like this. She's super smart. She's like the leader of the group, even if Chip and Dale pretend to be the leaders.
She's like the actual one. She's
yeah,
like,
she's the
no.
only one who's ever doing anything right. Like, isn't it? It's Chip and Dale, her, and then the fat one, right?
Monterey
Like,
Jack.
There you go.
Monterey
Of course I
Jack.
liked her. Why wouldn't
All
I
right,
like
so
her?
that's Monterey Jack. Yeah, Disney Afternoon and Everybody Hates Goof Troop. So
yeah,
that's
Goof
the end of that.
That was a good Nintendo game,
I
though.
liked it.
Did you like Goof Troop? Goofy is a single dad. Yeah. Why'd you like Goof Troop,
I
Miranda?
like Goofy a lot.
I remember
just liked
liking
him as a
the
kid.
movie.
Oh, I love Goofy.
I,
I,
like
just
the
didn't like
Goofy
Goof Troop.
movies.
Did you play the
so
Super Nintendo
good.
game, Jared?
Oh, wait! I just got to 2 here.
Sorry.
Wait, what was that?
The Goof Troop Super Nintendo game? One of the best co-op games on the Super Nintendo.
I don't think I
Wow.
played Goof Trip on SNES. No, I've heard it's good.
Go watch they recently did a Awesome Games Done Quick where one player is using 2 controllers.
Playing Goof Trip.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, because is it Capcom? They did the Chip and Dale and Chip and Dale 2, which are both really good NES Disney co-opers.
I wanna say, I don't know for
so
sure, but
I wonder
yeah.
about that. All right, cool. Well, folks, thank you so much for sticking with us here at Vault IGN. Next week, the Fallout 4 spoiler cast.
Whoa.
Holy cow.
You have 1
That's
week to
right.
beat the game.
Yep. So next week, spoiler cast. We hope you'll tune in. We look forward to hearing from you. You can tweet at me, Petty, Jared, or at
Havoc Rosens, Havoc with a K.
or at
Raga_Fraga.
or at
Shot by Finnegan.
or to all of us at the same time. Thank you so much for your letters, your submissions, at all, etc., and all the rest. Anybody got anything they want to plug?
Yeah, that really cool guy who gave me this, his name is Brad Whiteside. You could follow him on Twitter because I'm plugging because it's cool, at Holy_Shadows. What a cool guy. Thank you, Brad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody else? All right. Oh, yeah.
Not yet.
Not
yeah,
yet?
Everything's working on.
Sean?
The rock,
So I got a review going up today. This is Wednesday. Going up today for Mario on the 3DS. Mario
Paper
Luigi
Jams.
Paper Jam, and I am sad to say it is mediocre.
So I guess you would say it's not your jam.
It's not my jam. Wow, that's really good. All right, so anyway, I was really sad about that. I want the game to be good. So until next time, thanks so much, and enjoy your apocalypse.